been through this whole system before, so you know kind of the importance. Also, there was Gord Woodhall, who was just the coach of the U18 women's team. And I got to spend a lot of time with him, but also disseminate what Howie Draper's message was to the team and his team building culture and environment. And that was enlightening. I mean, it was so fascinating to hear just, this is Gord's second time with Howie. You know, and I said to him, like, I kind of asked, like, after 7-0, like, how was the team? And he just said Howie is just such an inspirational man, and he has these themes for every team. And so I found that fascinating, and I think we should have Howie Draper on one day to talk about the themes, because coming from Gord, obviously second hand, but Gord actually has a tattoo of a wolf on his arm from his last participation with Howie, which was, I think, in Slovakia in 2019. Is that right, Kim? Maybe? Last U18s?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, anyways, they didn't even win. They didn't even win the championship, but the idea of Wolfpack mentality, what Howie Draper had disseminated to the staff and the team, stuck with him so much that he got a tattoo of the wolf that they had been talking about. So this year's theme for the team was fire. And I will explain it very briefly, but I think we should have Howie on it. So it's sort of a pyramid. He always has a pyramid themed dissemination of information. So starting at the base was the oxygen needed for the fire. And so at the training camps, that was what he laid out. And they talked about the importance of oxygen in everyday life and how it is a life giver, and that you need to be to give life to others. So you need to build up others around you. You need to create those bonds of friendship, and just everything was about everybody else and building team and that oxygen. And then the next one was fuel. So the fuel came at the in the pre-camp, where they started to battle and started to really work off each other and started to fuel. And then I think the final one was flame, and flame was that drive, I think, for excellence and being able to all be there for each other, striving to be better, something like that. But after they lost to Finland, the first game, Howie went right back to oxygen. And that night, that day, even in the dressing room afterwards, talked about being there for each other and really building each other up and building the person around you, and that these moments are fleeting, and would always go back to the base and then build up again. And I just found that really fascinating. And so I think we should have him on to talk about how he creates that culture, but also now having coached for 22 years in U Sports, he probably has 22 different themes that he's come up with. So, you know, where do these come from? From a team culture building mentality, that's what I'm so fascinated with. And is he finding this pyramid structure every time, and how much research and innovation goes around that? So for the Wolfpack mentality, when they went to a wolf reserve and they learned all about wolves, and they learned about how they have this pack mentality. And this time with fire, they had a First Nations person come in and talk about the importance of fire within their culture and their community, and just as like a whole kind of theme around that. So I found that fascinating. That's digressing about the goalie information, but I think we should have him on. We'll talk about that after.